What if I told you your insomnia has nothing got to do with your sleep routine, your sleep hygiene, or sleeping medication, but it has to do with one particular sex hormone? So maybe it wasn't tested properly by your doctor, but if you're waking between 2 and 3 a.m. or waking in the night, you're lying awake for hours or you can't get back to sleep, then this one hormone may have something to do with it. Hi, my name is Anne-Marie Boyhan. I'm a functional medicine practitioner. I'm a sleep expert and I've appeared on TV and radio, and I help people with chronic insomnia. Today we're talking about one topic that I see in my clients that can sometimes cause sleep issues, and it is called estrogen dominance. So not menopause, not low estrogen, not testosterone, although these can influence sleep as well. But today we're talking about estrogen dominance. So what does that mean? Estrogen dominance in women means when estrogen is higher than progesterone, and in men it's higher than testosterone. And this can quietly interfere with your sleep. In the next few minutes, I am going to break down what exactly is happening, how estrogen and liver are connected, and what you can do if you think that you have estrogen dominance. So the first thing that I do when I work with people is use test and not guess. That's my theory and I stand by it. For this particular hormone, I use the Dutch test, standing for Dried Urine Test for Comprehensive Hormones. It is a dried urine sample like the test says, and this will show us what your sex hormones are doing. So what's your estrogen, your testosterone, your progesterone, and your DHEA. So with the Dutch test, you do it over 2 days, over different times, and we're going to get those results back and see exactly what is happening with your hormones. When we run functional lab testing, particularly the Dutch comprehensive hormone test, we often discover that sleep isn't actually the primary problem. So sometimes it does have to do with your hormones. So the first thing is that estrogen dominance doesn't always mean that your estrogen is extremely high. It means that estrogen is having a stronger effect than progesterone in women and than testosterone in men. So sometimes estrogen is elevated. Sometimes progesterone is too low and estrogen is higher than progesterone, especially in women. And sometimes both happen together. Either way, when estrogen is higher than progesterone or testosterone in men, then the balance between these two hormones matters because estrogen is the dominant one. Progesterone is a calming one. And when estrogen is too high, it also means that your liver is not detoxifying estrogen out of the body fast enough. So every night the liver has a huge role. It's our main detoxifier and it has to detoxify estrogen from the body. So actually get it out. And when we have too much estrogen in our bodies, the liver can't get it out of the body. So that can sometimes cause waking in the night because the liver in Chinese medicine does its main detoxifying between 1 and 3 a.m. So if you were waking in the night with symptoms like being wide awake, you're waking hot, you are waking with racing thoughts, you're feeling anxious. Other symptoms would be breast tenderness, heavy periods, headaches, water retention, and irritability. So not only is insomnia a symptom, but all these other symptoms as well can point to estrogen dominance. I want to tell you about my client, Simone. So she is a 51-year-old female who came to me. She hadn't been sleeping well in 10 years. Simone was waking at 3 a.m. and could not get back to sleep. She did have some other symptoms around breast tenderness as well, irritability, and she went to her doctor, and the doctor, because of her age, prescribed HRT, so hormone replacement therapy, in this case an estrogen patch. She said that when she went on that estrogen patch that her sleep actually got worse. So it's not that estrogen replacement is wrong, but for many women what's happening is that their hormones aren't being tested. So they are being handed hormone replacement therapy. And in some instances, if you have estrogen dominance, it's not going to work for you because you're actually putting estrogen on top of estrogen, which is like adding fuel to the fire. So when Simone came to work for me, we ran the 4 functional lab tests that I run in Easy Sleep Method, and one of them being the Dutch test, so the dried urine test for comprehensive hormones. So her estrogen was higher than her progesterone, significantly higher in her case. So I worked alongside her to correct this through diet, lifestyle change and supplementation. Her prescribing doctor managed any change in medication as well. So I'm not a doctor, so I cannot recommend regarding medication, but we were able to look at that with her doctor. And in fact, Simone reported starting a new job a couple of months after working with me, and she said that she wouldn't have been able to start that new job because her sleep was so bad, but now she felt that she was in a great position to do her new work. So sometimes what happens is that you might get your bloods tested for hormones, but we actually need to look at the Dutch test, which is a dried urine sample, to see what is going on with your hormones. So it will show us what is going on with your hormone levels, but also how your liver is detoxifying. So we do look at a lot of liver work as well, because as I mentioned, the liver is so connected to estrogen. So a couple of changes you can do, especially in relation to when estrogen is higher than progesterone or higher than testosterone in men, you can actually use some food as well, which are DIM reducing. So DIM is the main component that we're trying to lower. So one of the things that is really good for this is cruciferous vegetables. So your broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower as well would be a cruciferous vegetable. So you can have them cooked or raw, and you would have 1 cup a day. So another thing you can do if you think that you have these symptoms that I mentioned, you can nourish your liver through food. So through bitters, but also through bitter greens, but also dandelion tea would be really good. Another way we can support the liver through lifestyle change is via a castor oil pack. So you're actually putting the castor oil pack over your liver. You can do that for about an hour, or some people can wear it overnight. You can also take a supplement called DIM that will reduce the estrogen as well. So you're looking to do diet change, so through the cruciferous vegetables, through the dandelion tea. You're looking at lifestyle change, so supporting your liver through detox, especially through castor oil packs. And then you're looking at supplementation as well, which is optional. But the supplementation that I would recommend in this case is DIM. DIM. I wanted to tell you about another client, in this case, a male client called Nick. Nick came to me with 2 years of insomnia, waking up at 3 a.m. in the morning and not being able to fall back asleep. With Nick, we ran the Dutch test, so the dried urine test for comprehensive hormones, alongside the 4 functional lab tests that I run within the Easy Sleep method. So with Nick on the Dutch test, what we saw was that estrogen was higher than testosterone. So in this case, he was estrogen dominant. And this is a funny conversation because Nick actually didn't know that he had estrogen. So males do have estrogen too. It's not just a female only hormone. So we looked at his test, we saw what he had, and we treated the estrogen dominance through supplementation, through the diet changes that I mentioned with Simone. The other big thing with estrogen is the gut. With Nick, we looked at his gut test through the GI map. So he had a few things going on that we needed to correct in his gut. And this is really, really important because there is a part of the gut called the estrobolome. This needs to be in a good condition to be able to detoxify and be able to get all of that estrogen out as well. So if you found this helpful, my method is Easy Sleep Method, and you can go and check out easysleepmethod.com, where you can watch my webinar, which explains the root cause approach to resolving your insomnia. So I hope you found this really interesting, and you can subscribe for more science-backed information on resolving your insomnia.